So now what I'd like to do is shift over to taking a look at some of the key benefits and value that you can achieve by implementing a solution, a marketing automation solution like Fission. So this slide sort of starts to drive to some of those benefits. So, kind of starting at the top, I've seen customers achieve some pretty dramatic results in terms of efficiency, driving a 1 to 3x improvement by implementing a solution like Fission. These efficiencies have come from a variety of sources, but the biggest change comes from converting your marketing department from a reactive organization into a proactive one. One of the clients that we've worked with, they had the request volume go down by over 300% and was able to devote all of that time and energy into generating new campaigns and new content. And in addition, they were able to maximize the use and leverage from all of the content that they were able to create and generate that's out there. So pretty dramatic shift. You're going to see the number of requests coming at you go down dramatically, and your outbound effective lead, campaign and content generation increase dramatically. You're able to generate more leads and improve how you engage your customers and prospects. With a tool like Fission, you're able to give your distributed sales teams the ability to react more quickly with more engaging and compelling content and achieve higher levels of penetration and engagement from your customers and prospects. I think as Mike showed in some of the reporting, you can gain new insight and help optimize your marketing activities and drive your marketing ROI. You can get a detailed understanding of which assets are being used and which are most effective, which campaigns are most effective, and effectively triggering your salespeople to follow up on those campaigns. You're able to easily perform A/B testing on both messaging and creative and content and see which ones are more effective at which audience segment, at which target market. And you're able to track your activity and customer engagement at every level and stage in the sales funnel, so from initial contact all the way to close. And frankly, you're able to achieve a shorter sales cycle and help accelerate your revenue growth, providing your sales teams with the ability to respond in time and assure that you've got relevant targeted content for your sales people to use, again, at every stage of the sales process, and you can fundamentally change your relationship with the sales organization. So again, you can control your overall brand at every touch point, whether it's email, social, print, web, or signage, and empower your distributed team to be the most effective that they can be and still be in complete control of your brand. So hopefully through this discussion and this webinar, we've been able to demonstrate how you can convert your rogue salespeople into an on-brand, measurable marketing asset and on-brand powerhouses for your company. What we'll do now is we're going to open it up to some of the questions. Thanks to all of you that have submitted questions to us through this process. We've received quite a few, so I am going to probably pick a few out. And as I look down this list, it looks like the bulk of these are going to be targeted probably at you, Mike. So the first one I have is, how long does it take to implement a system like Fission, and sort of what are the key challenges, if any?
Yeah. The first thing that most people think is that, oh my goodness, how are we going to organize ourselves? And it seems like a really daunting task, but we've put together a really simple 5-step process. We do 90 to 95% of the work and the lifting on our end. We have a 5-step process that goes over approximately 8 to 12 weeks. We like to be conservative. Typically, we work with an organization and we work with 1 or 2 people that spend 2 to 3 hours a week per person over the 8 to 12 week period. And we basically have a list of materials that they're going to be gathering and decisions that have to be made in regards to business rules. And we gather that information once a week from the client company. We put that information and we put the site together for them. We load the assets and we talk them through the process, but it's very, very, very painless. We've loaded companies as early as 4 to 6 weeks. We've loaded large organizations in 7. We've had some smaller companies that take 10 or 11 weeks. It's really dependent upon the company.
Okay, great. Next one is, there's a fair number of marketing automation solutions that are out there. What are the key points of differentiation of Fission?
If you go back to that slide that you talked about with the evolution of marketing automation started first and foremost with CRM, and everybody's familiar with CRM. CRM, the big players obviously are Salesforce, and you've got Microsoft Dynamic. Those are probably the bigger players. Then it evolved into what's called campaign management and analytics. Most of the companies in this space have come at it from the back of the problem, where they're tracking data and they're putting together fairly challenging platforms to push content. We came at it from the front end. We looked at the most efficient way to engage customer engagement, and customer engagement management was being able to create a simple solution that your field reps can deliver the right content to the right audience at the right time. So the biggest differentiator for us is that our simple, powerful, intuitive platform differentiates us. And there are a lot of competitors out there, and I would think that the older they are, the more apt you are to find more difficult to use, really bad engineered and bad designed platforms.
Okay. The next one is really relevant for today's environment. It's around social media. You did not, they're asking kind of, you did not demonstrate, the social media functionality of Fission. Can you describe how that works?
You bet. Social media works very similar to email. You're moving digital content to an address someplace out into the web environment. In our platform, you would go in just like I demonstrated the email template. If you had social media capability, and if you wanted to distribute that through your team members or maybe fans of your company or fans of your product or service, you would have those addresses or those connections to either Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter. So you would go into, similar to what you did with the email, you'd select your template, you'd put the pre-approved content into the social post, and then that post gets distributed to your employees or to your fans. And they have the ability then to forward it on to their contacts as well. We can see how many are sent and how many are distributed, and we can also see how many are opened up. So imagine you got a social post in LinkedIn. As soon as you click on that link, it opens up an HTML outside of the LinkedIn environment, and it's trackable by the Google crawlers. So you actually get some SEO value on that as well, but you can see when those links are opened, and you can track that data similar to what you do on an email.
Okay, great. The next one is just further clarificating on some of the reporting capability that they're asking, so you can confirming that you can get individual rep visibility as well as departmental, group, and sort of global visibility on how the marketing assets are being used and triggering which customers have clicked through on what links, I think.
That's absolutely correct. And unique to our platform is the ability to create customized, configured hierarchies within a company. Some companies manage it, executive vice president, senior vice president, down to the local level sales rep. Others organize by country or by industry or by product set. So depending upon how you have your hierarchy established inside of your organization, you can do reporting, large group, all-inclusive, regions, states, specific offices, divisions, right down to the individual person, right down to the individual campaign, right down to the individual link. You can measure assets downloaded, stuff sent to print, email sent, social sent. You can see exactly how effective that was. You can see what photos are being used in what campaign by what representative throughout your entire, what content is being used. So now you can start to draw conclusions. The kayak photo seems to draw a much better response rate than the pup tent photo. Those are the types of examples. So yes, extreme granularity on what you can report on.
With that, I think we'll wrap it up for today. If you would like any more information or wanted to get a deeper demo or to learn more, clearly you can go to Fission Online and get some information. And you can also obviously contact Mike Brown at mike.brown@fissiononline.com and get some more information or just click through on the sales link that's on the website. So I'd like to say thank you to everyone for joining us on this call. We appreciate everyone taking the time out of your day to learn more about this topic, and hopefully you found this webinar valuable. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
The